Durability, reliability, I mean, it just runs with no glitches. It's quiet. Yeah, I think it's a good asset. My name is Brandon Kibbee. I own and operate Kibbee's Repair and Fabrication LLC. Been line boring now for about 6 months. Still learning the tricks of it, or making it up as I go, however you want to look at it. I opened this shop in 2017, even though my business started in 2010. But so in that 7 years, I grew enough that I could just go out on my own. All of this was me quitting drinking. I had a drinking problem when I came back from the Army, and I was starting to get in trouble, so I was wanting to get away from drinking. And I did all right as long as people weren't around me drinking. Well, working on cars and stuff at night, I need to go downtown and grab a car and bring it out to the shop to work on. I'd have to call my buddies to give me a hand, and they'd show up with beer. Next thing you know, we're 30-pack deep and we're doing dumb shit and getting in trouble. So I custom built, machined, fabricated my first tow truck from scratch, so I wouldn't have to call my friends, so they wouldn't show up with beer and I wouldn't feel the need to drink. In the beginning, the mechanic business was the thing. The towing was kind of a supplement, and the towing has now overtaken the mechanic business. And
how much of your business is line boring?
At the moment, very little. It's something new that we're just expanding. Nobody else around here did it, and I had my own personal machines that needed done, so I looked into buying one. And I've got a lot of customers that have construction equipment and stuff that I work on with my repair business, and so I just figured it's something I could get into. I enjoy doing machine work, so I did a lot of research, and the price point on your guys' machine was the big thing for me, because the Elsas and all the other ones are $30,000-$40,000 for a similar setup. And for just starting out, not knowing what the market will be, you know, how much I'm actually going to do, I can't justify that kind of money on a machine. So the price point on your guys' was in there where it was affordable to start out with, you know, not knowing anything. And then the more videos I watched of them, you know, where the welder is part of the machine, you don't have to have two separate machines. You know, that's a big thing to me. I like multi-purpose stuff.
What do you like best about it? I mean, overall?
The versatility, the compactness, and I mean, just the versatility. The fact you can set it up in so many different configurations. You know, it's got the split bar to do like in an excavator well, where you've got a cab here and an engine here. It comes with a split bar that you can put in between. And the rigidity of it, which, I mean, I know a little bit about the rigidity of things when you're machining, because I have lathe and milling machine, and I'm taking a pretty healthy cut. You can see by the smoke coming off that there's a pretty healthy cut going on here. I'm taking 30 thousandths off here, and there's no chatter. If any of this stuff was weak and flexing, you'd have a chatter, and there's no chatter in it. I've seen videos of other ways to set it up and different things for repairing conveyor rollers, and you know, we've got some large industry right near us that run a lot of conveyors. So the more I get used to this thing and whatnot, that's another avenue I'm going to try going with it is going down here to these factories and see if they need some conveyor rollers rebuilt and things like that. As with the kit, it came with the adapter to hook up to my welder. I literally, the night that I got it, I sat up and started boring with it, practicing, you know, teaching myself how to use it. I had everything I needed, and the few little things it didn't have is just common tools that I had here in the shop, so it was no big deal. You know, the wrench for putting these bolts in, it didn't come with that wrench, but if you don't have an 18 millimeter wrench, you probably don't need to be in the line boring business. The cutting bits are very impressive. I use carbide inserts up there on my lathe and my milling machine, and I'm constantly changing tips. This is probably the 10th job I've done, and I'm still on my first bit. It's like, wow, I need to start using them upstairs in my machine shop. The pack outs are nice. I'm a Milwaukee fanboy. I love the pack outs. I use it on a lot of other stuff, so it integrates. Customer service, I've been impressed with MMS. I mean, when I call, they answer the phone. A couple times I've called and they weren't able to answer. They called right back. The few problems I had, I called down, and Robert was more than willing to answer my questions. I had a few questions he couldn't answer, so I think it was his son that actually runs one of the machines. He got me in contact with him, and we talked about it a little bit and answered my questions. When I've bought stuff, they got them shipped out right away. And you know, one of the packages was damaged in shipping. We called him, sent him a picture of it. He got a new one headed out right away. Had it in a few days again, and you know, we're talking halfway across the country. He had it to me in a few days.
How vital is that to a business like yours to not have to wait for replacements or parts?
Extremely vital, because things don't break when you don't need them. Things break when you need it. You're in the middle of a job, so getting things in a timely manner is really important. It is very, very quiet. I mean, my drill press is louder. The bench grinder, even just a hand drill is louder than this thing. The Elsas and some of the other ones that I've watched, you can't even talk with the machine running. This thing is so quiet. Yeah, that's taking a 1/16 of an inch off. I do a lot with aftermarket stuff, and sometimes price equates quality, but not all the time. I'm always willing to try something new, and this seems to be a relatively new thing around here in this machine in the country. I used to be very opinionated about Chinese-made stuff, and my opinions changed a lot over the last few years. The quality of them the quality of the Chinese stuff is not what it was 20 years ago. The Chinese have came a long ways. I'm very impressed, and I'm always willing to give them a try on something, because the American stuff has just gotten so overpriced. I'm very happy I didn't go out and spend that kind of money. I mean, well, I just wouldn't have. I would have been better off contracting it out and having somebody come do it for me. But because the price point on this was in that range, that I could do it myself, it made good business sense to me, because it's another service I can offer. The sky's the limit. My imagination is the limit on what I can do with this.